news of the day yesterday was some craziness happening basically all day long with the Hunter jury selection trial, which that's what it was supposed to be, is a jury selection day. It was not that, because about midday, Hunter surprised everyone, including prosecutors, by saying, yeah, I'm going to do one of those Alford pleas where I say I'm guilty, but I don't really feel like I'm guilty, but I'm willing to accept the punishment from a guilty verdict. So I'm just going to do that. And then everybody like exploded. The media was like, what's happening? And the prosecutor was like, what's happening? And it went around and around. And then finally, prosecutors were like, no, that we're not doing that. Like, you don't get to do that. And so here is a breakdown of how things ended up from CNN.
Yes, Jake, the judge has now accepted Hunter's formal plea to plead guilty on all 9 counts that he was facing. Now, we spent the last couple of hours with prosecutors basically running through all 56 pages of this indictment that goes through a lot of the behavior that prosecutors said he was doing during the time he was addicted to crack cocaine, earning millions of dollars, about $7 million during this time, but not paying his taxes. Instead, what prosecutors said, and they read all of these details out in court, they said he was spending his money on exotic dancers, on sex clubs, basically everything he was claiming as business expenses, and they were not business expenses. And so at the end of that period, the judge, Mark Scarsey, asked Hunter Biden whether he pleaded guilty to each specific count. After each one, Hunter Biden said guilty. And at the end of that, the judge accepted the plea, and he scheduled sentencing for Hunter Biden on December 16th. Of course, that means both convictions for Hunter Biden. He was earlier this year was convicted on gun charges in Wilmington, Delaware. That sentencing is set for mid-November. So both of these now will be set for after the November election. The date there, of course, Jake, is very key. The President of the United States has said that he is not going to pardon his son. The White House has said it's not going to be a commutation. But those are obviously things when the president was still running for re-election. That is no longer the case. We're expecting...
He's totally going to be pardoned.
Oh my God. Of course he is.
I mean, hello. Everybody knows it. Anybody with a brain knows he's going to be pardoned. He's got Biden privilege. He's got Democrat privilege.
Mm-hmm. I think it was last week that we introduced, or maybe the week before now, I can't remember, but we introduced a new sponsor, Life 360, which I'm super stoked about because I've been using it for years and years and years.
We love it.
Oh my God, it's so great. It's so great. And
I would say the only thing that I'm not super happy about is that my husband knows how fast I'm going in the car.
Well, that's true. It's true. You can track the speed and the driving history of all of your people in your circle.
Totally.
We got a testimonial from Martha Sheriff, who wrote, I am so glad Life 360 has joined in on the fun. I love this app.
We do
Several
too.
years ago, during spring break, my son and his family went skiing while I stayed home and took care of the dogs. One day, I looked at Life 360 and wondered what all of these short trips the kids were taking. We figured out it was their ski runs, which had the length and the miles per hour.
Love it.
And so all of a sudden, the kids were having contests for the fastest and longest runs for the day.
Oh my God.
As well as being useful, it can be really fun too. Love you girls. You're the greatest, from a loving Grammy.
That is so cute. I love
right?
that. Yeah.
Isn't that the greatest?
That is really cool. Yeah, we love it. I mean, I love it. Listen, our daughter's not driving yet. It's going to come in handy when she's driving, but I do like knowing like she has to go to a different school at the end of the day to go to swim. She does like swim practice every single day after school. I like knowing that she's going from one place to the other, and it says Gwen is at swim now, from her high school. And I'm like, okay, I feel it gives me a sense of security. I'm like, okay, she's safe and she's in the place she's supposed to be in. And then when she's driving, I'll feel the same way. And I'll be able to say, why are you going so fast?
Exactly. We do it to Jackson all the time.
Right. Like my husband says to me right now. So it'll trickle down. It's great, you guys. Yeah.
It really is. And I know a lot of people, the last time we talked about it, a lot of people were like, that's so stalky.
Oh my God.
Invasion of privacy. No one is forcing you to do this. The people that are in your circle willingly want to be there
Right.
with you. So
our family, we all
I don't
stalk
know why
each
you wouldn't
other,
wanna do
and
it.
we do it happily. We all
Yeah.
stalk each other, and it's fantastic. We love it. Absolutely
It's
love
just
it.
so handy, especially if you have a lot of kids and you're trying to figure out who's gotta
Mhm.
go where and when's
Right.
somebody taking it's just so handy for so many reasons, that we've listed, but also because they do the tiles too, where it's kinda like an
Uh-huh.
air tag, but it's their version and they're super, super handy. When you go to life360.com or you just download the app Life360 today and use code CHICKS, you will get a month of the gold package for free, plus 15% off of all tiles. So check it out, life360.com, or just download the app. It is awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's no question. Like, and it doesn't matter if it's in December, November, whenever the sentencing for these cases happens, he absolutely will get pardoned just in the nick of time. I mean, he's got till what, January 21st or whenever the inauguration is. Like,
Mhm.
he's just in the nick of time. And that
Right.
is why they're moving forward, right? Because he
Yeah.
knew the writing is on the wall. If he was going to have a whole ass trial, all of his dirty laundry would be brought out. He doesn't
Mhm.
want that. So now
Nope.
they're trying to paint him as this brave, courageous soul for protecting his family from having to go through that
Yeah.
horrible court case.
And he
It's gonna be
beat
great.
addiction, you guys. Don't be mean to him. He was a crack addict. I
mean,
don't know. You may have it because we were really good at preparing for the show today. But Jonathan Turley, he compared him to Marie Antoinette.
I don't
And people
have
were
that.
like, "Let them do blow." That's it's just like, because the privilege on this, he's just dripping.
Oh my
in
God.
privilege. You guys would never get away with this. You'd be in
And
jail.
we do have a clip about that, about the privilege, and that it'll come right after this one. This one I just wanted to show because Kristen Welker is kind of a bitch. So when she's interviewing this weenie Joe Biden or Kamala surrogate person, like spokesperson, just super weenie guy, and she's wanting to know, okay, we've heard Joe Biden say that he's not going to pardon or commute the sentence. Would Kamala commit to doing that? And the way that she keeps asking it is just like,
bitchy.
calm down, Kristen. What?
Would Vice President Harris pardon him, or is that off the table?
Well, you've heard President Biden make the commitment that that wouldn't happen. I wouldn't imagine that changing with Vice President Harris.
Is she committed to that?
Obviously, you know, the case is still ongoing, and we want to be really careful and respectful of the court process. I don't think that this should be politicized from the Harris camp.
Yeah.
So
Understood. I mean,
think
President Biden has taken it off the table. Has the vice president taken it off the table?
Well, I just answered. I said I think that she's not planning to pardon anyone. But again, I think it's important to understand there's no sentence or anything like that happening right now. And so, you know, I would leave this question to the White House and to President Biden, and obviously to Hunter Biden and his personal team.
I don't know. I kind of like that line of questioning. He wasn't answering it, and when he was answering it, you know, he was lying. All the lies.
Said, I have no reason to believe that she would do anything different than what Joe Biden said. And she was like, so is she committing? Is she committing to it? Like, I mean, it was like,
but I did like, he's like, we got to be respectful to the judicial process. Yeah. Okay. Like Hunter was respectful to all the whores. Yeah. About as respectful you're going to be to the judicial process. Okay. All right. Yeah.